1,000 years ago, it was the most famous educational institution in China. SONGSHAN Academy was at the heart of Confucian learning, and young men traveled from near and far to study there. Later, they would come to study at a very different institution, also on Mount SONGSHAN, the Buddhist Shaolin Temple. So, how did Shaolin Temple gain its fame as the home of martial arts? Stay tuned for the fifth part of Mount SONGSHAN.
China, in the late 10th and early 11th century under the northern Song dynasty, was at peace. Literature flourished, and scholars sought out quiet places among the mountains where they could teach their students. Successive emperors encouraged academic pursuits above military training. Scholars were able to expound on life, society and culture, and eventually a new philosophical school, the Song School, emerged. Education, too, benefited from the more benign environment, and a new approach to teaching developed.
那么到了宋代的时候呢，就说统治者搞这个英文政策，说当时这种英文政策不只是官学，还有民间私学，另外也大力支持书院的发展。说当时在宋太宗的时候，赵匡胤的时候，就是为了发展书院，所以他作为皇帝来说，亲自给这个宋阳书院赐书。这当时这书都是在中央官学当中最高一级官学都在国子监里边，他们所使用的教材，像九经啊这些书籍，所直接的赐给这个宋阳书院。不仅赐书，还有赐这学田。 还有赐这个经费，另外还有让这个地方政府啊，这个选择这个有点名望的大师啊，然后做书院的说院长来主持这个书院教育工作，说是当时跟整个宋代的中文的政策是息息相关的。
In the year 934, scholars Pang Shi, Shu Yuan and Yang Na began lecturing at Songyang Temple. By 954, the temple had officially become a school under the name Taiyi Academy. Taiyi Academy became a center of Confucian learning, and in 1035, Emperor Renzong of the Song dynasty ordered that the academy be rebuilt and renamed Songyang Academy. The study of Confucianism was now being officially encouraged, and at Songyang Academy, Confucius was revered as the supreme teacher. The emperor donated 70 hectares of farmland to the academy for use as a source of income. This meant the school could keep its tuition fees low and even offer a number of free places. Students were even permitted to work after class to support themselves. Songyang Academy was noted for its tolerance. There was no discrimination against students or teachers, irrespective of where they came from. Students were allowed to attend classes at any time they wanted, and the school admitted anyone, whatever their social background. The academy did not prepare its students for the Imperial Civil Service examination. In fact, among the academy students, there were even some who had already passed the examination. SONGSHAN Academy combined its open door policy with a freedom of speech policy. Forums were frequently organized to discuss a variety of academic subjects. SONGSHAN Academy was the ideal place for leading scholars to promote their academic ideas and for court officials to air their political views. SONGSHAN Academy soon became the most famous educational institution in China. Leading Confucian scholars such as Zhongfang, Fan Zhongyan and Sima Guang taught at the school. Prominent thinkers such as Tang Zijing, Qian Ruoshui and Qian Yuyi were graduates of the school. These great men played leading roles in academic studies during the Northern Song dynasty. With Confucianism developing rapidly, SONGSHAN Academy entered its most glorious period. Its students were renowned for their dedication. A story is still told today called Standing in the Snow Outside the House of Chang'e. Chang'e was a leading 11th century Neo-Confucian scholar. Two young men, Yang Shi and You Zuo, were desperate to be taught by him, so they travelled to his home. There, they saw him through the window, but he had his eyes closed and he was evidently deep in meditation. Not wanting to disturb him, the two young men waited outside. But it was snowing heavily, and by the time Chang'e finally summoned them inside, the snow was up to their knees. Chang'e was known not only for his great intellect, but also for his rigorous discipline as a teacher and his austerity. Zhongfu Palace is a Taoist temple that lies 1 kilometre to the east of SONGSHAN Academy at the foot of Wanshui Peak on the southern flank of Mount Songshan. The temple was built as a residence for senior Northern Song dynasty court officials who had either retired or had been dismissed from office. These former officials often went to SONGSHAN Academy to debate topical issues or to give vent to their frustrations. They played a positive role in the academic life at SONGSHAN Academy. In the compound of Shaolin Temple, there's a drawing etched onto a stone tablet. The drawing is called 3 Religions and 9 Schools. Viewed from the front, a kindly older man can be seen with a bald head and whiskers. He is Sakyamuni. With the right side blocked, the picture shows the profile of a man wearing his hair in a bun. He is Lao Tzu. With the left side blocked, the picture is of a man wearing a scholar's hat. He is, of course, Confucius. The elderly man is holding a painting scroll. It is decorated with 9 round flower petals, symbolizing the harmonious coexistence and mutual promotion of various schools of thought. This stone tablet, sometimes known as the Integration of 3 Religions, was placed here in the year 1565. If Confucianism is regarded as a religion, then it can be said that Mount SONGSHAN was central to all 3 major religions in China: Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. Tolerance is a feature of Chinese civilization, and a boldness of vision was fostered on Mount SONGSHAN that saw all religions and all schools of thought encouraged. Shaolin Temple is probably the most famous Buddhist temple in the world. The Hall of 1,000 Buddhas at Shaolin Temple has a side chamber to its east called the Bai Yi or Chuanpu Hall. For centuries, no outsider was permitted to enter Bai Yi Hall, and it was regarded as a place of great mystery. The south and north walls of Bai Yi Hall feature murals. The one on the south wall shows an imperial court official sitting on a chair under the eaves of another of Shaolin's buildings, Da Xiong Hall. He is watching monks practicing martial arts. The mural on the north wall depicts 16 pairs of monks also performing martial arts. As is well known, the monks at Shaolin Temple are regarded as masters of Kung Fu. But has this always been the case? One afternoon in March 1828, Shaolin Temple received an important visitor. Wanyan Linqing was the Commissioner of Justice of Henan Province. He asked the abbot if he could watch his monks practicing martial arts. The request was an awkward one for the abbot, since the imperial court had forbidden commoners from doing martial arts. So the abbot told his guest that the monks had no fighting experience. The official, however, replied, "His Majesty knows that the monks of Shaolin Temple are excellent at martial arts. He has also said that as long as they abide by the rules of Buddhism and cause no disturbance on the sacred mountain, they may continue to practice." Reassured, the abbot ordered several of the best martial arts practitioners among the monks to demonstrate their boxing and weapons skills. It's this martial arts demonstration of 1828 that is depicted in the murals in Bai Yi Hall. The mural on the south wall shows 2 monks, Jian Luo and Jian Ju, directing their colleagues. The monks are demonstrating their skills with the broadsword, spear, sword, halberd, staff, and whip. The mural on the north wall shows monks boxing. The court official Wan Yan Linqing is said to have applauded the demonstration and declared that the monks were like bears stretching their bodies and birds in flight. Shaolin Temple's Manual of Boxing states that Shaolin Kung Fu comprises no fewer than 708 combinations of movements. 552 of these relate directly to boxing, while the other 156 focus on other skills, including wrestling, dueling, dislocating bones, and weapons exercises. Sadly, however, only about 200 of these combinations have been kept alive. 100 of them relate to boxing, 80 are weapons exercises, and the remaining 20 or so are associated with other martial arts skills. The movements are categorized according to their type and level of difficulty. How has Shaolin martial arts developed over the centuries? On either side of the front gate of Shaolin Temple there stands a stone archway. The archways were built with money donated by Prince Hui of the Ming Dynasty. An inscription on the east archway reads, "Founded by Bhadra." Bhadra, an eminent Buddhist monk from India, founded Shaolin Temple around the year 490 AD. He was actively supported by Emperor Shaowen of the Northern Wei dynasty. Ganlu Terrace is the site where a temple of the same name once stood. Legend has it that monk Bhadra translated the Buddhist scriptures from Sanskrit into Chinese in Ganlu Temple. Bhadra became abbot of Shaolin Temple, and his fame attracted increasing numbers of Buddhists to come and hear him preach. At the time, Shaolin Temple's main task was to translate Buddhist scriptures from Sanskrit into Chinese for the imperial court. Martial arts was neglected. In the year 527, another eminent Buddhist monk from India arrived. Bodhidharma spent 9 years living in seclusion before emerging to found the Chan or Zen school of Buddhism. Some historians assert that it was Bodhidharma who initiated the practice of martial arts at Shaolin Temple.
"禅宗主张闭关，静坐之后长时间静坐之后，这个僧人起来了以后就感到四肢麻木困倦。任何人坐的时间长的话，他身体都会感到困倦，四肢都会感到麻木。于是呢，这个僧人在长期静坐之后相传这个菩提达摩他的祖师就倡导他的弟子在静坐之后起来就是习武练功。久而久之，少林寺僧人就有了习武之风。
In recent years, however, many historians have cast doubt on the claim that Bodhidharma founded Shaolin martial arts. They point to the lack of corroborating evidence in historical records. What is known is that even before Bodhidharma's arrival, there were monks practicing martial arts at Shaolin Temple. They had learned the skills before becoming monks, and they then passed them on to their Shaolin colleagues. In the 100 years or so from the founding of Shaolin Temple to the end of the Sui dynasty in 618, the monks at Shaolin Temple practiced martial arts as physical exercise and for self-defense. Few outsiders knew anything about it. However, the early years of the Tang dynasty, which followed sway, saw a sudden change in the history of Shaolin Temple. In the year 621, Prince Li Shimin of the Tang dynasty led his army against Wang Shichong. Wang was the ruler of the state of Zhang, one of three rival states fighting for supremacy on the Central Plains. Li Shimin laid siege to the Zhang capital at Luoyang, but he was unable to seize it. Then things took a turn for the worse when Dou Jiande, Prince of Xia, the third of the three states, came to the aid of Wang Shichong. Li Shimin found himself under attack from both front and rear. At this critical moment, a group of Buddhist monks came to Li Shimin's camp. They brought with them Wang Renze, Wang Shichong's nephew and commander of his army. Under the Sui dynasty, Shaolin Temple had been awarded a large area of farmland in Baigu village just to the northwest. Wang Shichong had seized this farmland in order to feed his army, and following this, the peasants in several surrounding counties attacked Shaolin Temple and set fire to it. The monks, outnumbered and facing defeat, fled and took refuge in Baigu village.
少林僧啊，也是很有政治头脑的。他们发现呢，隋王朝腐败了，垮台了。那么，唐军呢，又来攻打王世充。王世充呢，又非常这个人呢，又占领了他的地盘，把他们的利益也给剥了。所以这样一来，他们中间就产生了矛盾。 那就是说，怎么办？在这个王世充的部队把自己的良田侵占了，军队扎那儿了，而后呢，还大有吞噬少林寺的可能。这个少林僧啊，就在这个利害关系上啊，已经倾斜于谁了？李世民。
Wang Renze, Wang Shichong's nephew, was an able general, but in confronting Li Shimin's army, he had left his rear exposed. In a surprise attack on the Zhang camp, a monk called Tanzong and 12 of his colleagues from Shaolin Temple captured Wang Renze. The loss of their general would prove decisive for the Zhang forces and their allies. Dou Jiande, Prince of Xia, was soon defeated at Hulao Pass, and Wang Shichong was forced to surrender. With this victory, Li Shimin gained control over the entire Central Plains area. A mural in Guanyin Hall at Shaolin Temple depicts the 13 monks from Shaolin Temple capturing Wang Renze. This event was later incorporated into the feature film Shaolin Temple. Li Shimin, after ascending the throne as Emperor Taizong of Tang, showed his gratitude on numerous occasions to the monks of Shaolin Temple for their assistance. Using money given them by the emperor, the monks acquired an additional 700 hectares of land and added a dozen new halls to their temple. The number of monks increased to 800, 100 of whom were outstanding martial arts practitioners. And so, the fame of Shaolin Temple began to spread.
Under the Qing dynasty, the practice of martial arts was banned. So at Shaolin Temple, the visit of an imperial official to see a martial arts demonstration caused considerable anxiety. What was the reason for the ban on martial arts? And what place does Shaolin Temple occupy in China's traditional culture and philosophy? For the answers, please stay tuned to the sixth and final part of Mount SONGSHAN.